Hey, it's Sammy and Natalie here, and welcome to the Anxiety Compass, where anxiety isn't the enemy, it's our tour guide. We'll swap stories, share tools, and have a laugh while we find our way back to true north. Come along. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Anxiety Compass. How are you, Nat?
I'm really good, Sammy. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm all right. I have a bit of a husky voice today. I don't know what is
You
going on with my
too.
body, but my whole life, I have never really gotten sick. And just this year, I don't know what's in the air. I have managed to pick up another cold. So
Yeah,
I've
you poor thing.
got my sexy voice on today, everyone. Hello.
Yeah,
Um,
it sounds
it,
lovely.
yeah. Well, it probably doesn't help that I get paid to speak, and so
No.
so I
Plus,
sound
also,
like
don't
this.
forget, it is early in the morning. I mean, we're recording
Yeah,
this at
that's
7
true.
a.m.
This
So,
is true.
our voices aren't warmed up yet either.
I know. Oh, warming up my
Oh,
voice. So, if you listened to our last guest episode with Ellen Tootsie, did I say that right? Tootsie? Uh, I
yes.
love that last name. It's very cute.
Yes.
We were talking about body image and anxiety. And after we hit stopped recording, Nat and I and Ellen had so much more to say. It was such a deep, interesting conversation. We were sharing personal stories about body image that we've seen or experienced. And
Mm.
Nat and I decided that we would do another episode on this and basically talking more about the things that we're missing out on life while trying to hide ourselves. Because when we can't control things, we tend to hide because we can control hiding right now.
Yeah.
We can
It's one of
control leaving
it's
the
one of the things
house.
we can control,
Yeah, so
or
why be?
perception of control.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The key word there is perception. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think when we hear the terms body image, a lot of people think it's struggles with dieting and food when it goes so much more further than that. Like we see more of the food side with being nutritionists, but when we touched a little bit deeper on that conversation, it hit so many things and some of them which we mentioned, we'll go through a few of them, and I wonder if our listeners can relate to some of these, either themselves or with a family member or a friend. But
Yeah.
one of the key things we talked about was refusing to be in photos.
Yeah.
Is that
That was a
something?
big one.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
something you have done personally yourself, Nat?
Absolutely. There's a whole decade where I don't exist, pretty much. There's like
Wow.
a couple, maybe 3 or 4 photos that I'm in. It was when I was at my sickest, and as I've mentioned before, I also had anorexia nervosa, and I was at my sickest then. And yeah, there's just no photos because, you know, photos don't hide. You can't
Yeah.
hide in
It's a
photos.
snapshot. And it could be
Yeah, and I
really,
looked like
I've had some bad
Skeletor.
photos.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a typical thing with, especially like with anorexia nervosa, and you look in the mirror and you can't see how unwell you are,
Mm,
but photos show something else. And so, and I did, I looked terrible. Like I looked like
yeah.
Skeletor. I was, so
Oh,
I would hide. I would just not be in photos, which is the complete opposite of me normally, you and I, Sammy, are very similar. We've got a background in performing, and we're like, oh, I'm very exuberant and big, and
yes.
yay! And I was always in photos with my mouth wide open, and yay! And then there's this decade where I just did not want to be seen.
Gosh. And I find that really interesting because I mean, I mean, this day and age with social media, I get tagged in photos. I'm like, oh, that's the
Yeah.
worst photo. I can't believe someone tagged me in that.
Is it
You
with
can't
people
hide
taking
from
other
photos
photos
now.
of you? Yeah, I know. Whenever I get tagged in photos, I they're the worst photos.
But they look great. So that's all that matters, right? I like
Exactly.
how it says, you can approve to put it on your
Yeah,
story
yeah,
now, but
no.
still, like you can't like on another angle, like this day and age, it's harder to avoid photos. But
Yeah,
I said to my mum once, because she went through a phase, well, she still does, is not comfortable with photos. I think maybe it's an older generational thing because they're not used to being behind the camera so much, whereas the younger generation are constantly
true,
taking photos of themselves.
true.
But my
Yeah,
mum, I don't know if that's a thing, I'm making that up, but it sounds like a thing. But my mum, she's not in a lot of photos, and I said to her once, mate, your grandchildren will not think that you exist, like because you're refusing it. I force myself to be in photos with my children all the time
mm,
because I'm usually the one behind the camera, but I get my mom to go in, and I know she's so uncomfortable, but I try and take the best possible angle so to show her how beautiful she is, because
yeah.
anyone can look terrible in a photo if you take the
I
wrong
know.
angle,
And
the
look,
wrong
mums
lighting.
tend to be the one,
Yeah.
you know, my mum passed away 18 months ago. And when we were collating the photos for the funeral, there's not that many photos of mum because mum was always the one taking the photos.
Yeah.
And
Gosh,
so, and yeah, it deepened my grief at the time
yeah.
because
You don't
there
have
was
those
no images of
memories.
mum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I find like my grandmother's in a like she got dementia and she's in a home, and I make her albums with all of the kids, all of the grandkids,
yeah,
all of her children, and those memories, like the pictures, trigger memories for her. She might not remember those people like just
yeah,
from memory, but the pictures are what trigger those
yes.
memories for her.
Yeah,
And
my mum was the same
yeah,
because she had Alzheimer's as well. And we
yeah.
actually had put into her room actually a photo of her parents when they were younger.
Ah.
So, because she could, even though
Yeah.
she didn't look
It's
at it and
like
go,
they
oh,
go
there's mum and
backwards.
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was something familiar.
I
Um,
love that. I think
yeah,
that, and so if you're listening to this and you avoid photos because of the way you look, you're not happy with the way you look, because it's not just the way we look. It's often about safety, control, fear of judgment,
yeah,
fear of being perceived as something that you're not. So maybe you might look like something that you're not. It depends on what mood you're in as to what comes out in the photo
absolutely.
as well. And
Yeah,
my mum
fear
has
of being
said
seen.
sometimes you can look like a grumpy bum and you're not. You just, how
Yeah.
some people have that resting bitch face and they're
Oh,
like, is that
yeah.
it? It's like,
I've always been
oh,
my cousin and I, we have one of my cousins in Canberra, Leanne. We
yeah.
both have, and we have since a very young age, both got really bad resting bitch face. And we didn't
Ah,
realize it wasn't actually until we used to go out clubbing together when we were both 18, 19. And, it was pointed out to us, and we were like, oh gosh, whoops.
this is a thing. I have it. Oh
It's a
no.
thing. It's a family thing. It runs in the family.
I've never been told I have a resting bitch face, but
No, you don't.
it,
You actually don't.
I mine if I try to do a resting bitch face, I just look like I'm being like
The face you
a
just pulled
goober.
in. The face you just pulled in. I'm sorry, but you actually look like Grumpy Cat. Remember Grumpy Cat?
Ah, that's funny. So yeah, there's some of the thoughts that could be going in your head with photos is, am I too big? Uh, how do I look sitting down? Should I stand up? Should I hide behind someone? Can people see my stomach? What's my best angle? Like,
Angle, yeah.
some people use their hair to cover the
To
sides of their
hide.
faces because they don't like their
Yeah.
ears.
The
Like, there's just
ears.
so many things that take over.
Or they
And
don't smile big because they're conscious
yeah.
of their subconscious
And
of
it's
their
only
teeth.
you that's thinking those things. The person who wants to keep the photo, because you might not want it, you might throw it out. The person who wants to keep photo sees you for all the beauty that you are, and they want to keep that
Exactly.
snapshot. So you got to work out how you're going to get around that. So
Yeah.
that was just one thing, photos. Gosh, we could have kept going down a little tanty on that one. But the other one that we spoke on, and we briefly touched on it with Ellen, is hiding on holidays. So fear of worrying about what everyone thinks of you and how you
Mm.
look to the point where you don't actually enjoy your holidays. You
Yeah.
you don't get in your swimmers, you don't put shorts on because you're worried about what your legs look like. There's
Yeah.
just so many things. Like even I know for me, I love to sing, but I avoided karaoke because I was always worried about what people might think. And
Oh, same.
yeah,
I was always exactly the same. I'm a singer and yeah, never do karaoke.
yeah. So have you ever not done a holiday properly because you've been afraid of looking stupid or doing something, or you just weren't comfortable with your body and where it was.
Absolutely. Look, yeah, look, we've talked in the past about how, I mean, your anxiety disorder was really showed up when you were a child, whereas
Yes.
mine showed up full blown when I was older. But running through my teenage years, or even when I was younger and into my 20s, I would very rarely get into my swimmers around other people. I was just so self conscious about my body. And, looking back, I had a great body. I mean, I was a professional dancer,
Yeah. Isn't it
and
funny?
it
It's
was
a
really funny
psychological
how
thing.
it is because
Mm.
I didn't have a problem getting up on a stage in like a leotard, you know,
Yeah.
but it was because I wasn't being me. I was a character.
Yeah. Yep.
In my real life, I hid a lot.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Because, like, a lot of
Mm,
people think body image is because perhaps you're carrying too much body fat. Like, that tends to be where people's minds go. They don't like their big belly hanging over, but it can have effects on both ways.
yeah,
Like, you can be too thin in your head. And for me, at one point, I was really fit, really healthy, but anxiety played a huge role in my life. And I remember I went away to a health retreat with my friend, Cassandra. She might be listening. And she said to me, which kind of struck a nerve, she said, "Do you constantly wear tracksuits and bigger clothes because you're worried that people are going to look at your body and judge you because you have a nice body?" I was like, yes, I've
yeah,
worked hard to get my body where it's at. But women in particular can be very judgmental no matter whether you're fit or underweight or overweight or
yeah,
whatever you look like, you're in the firing line. And so for me, I wore a lot of grays, a lot of beiges. I never wore anything bright. I always wore clothes that hid my body. And
yeah,
I went on a stage like I was fit and I
yeah,
was still hiding myself.
yeah. And
Isn't that
wearing black.
ridiculous?
That's the other thing. I used to always wear black.
Yeah, it's a safety
Yeah.
color, black and
Safety
gray,
color.
beige. Yeah, those
Yeah.
safety color, black in particular, it covers a lot.
Yeah. I pretty
Oh,
much
and you're
lived in
missing
black.
out on the colors. Meanwhile, you're wearing black right now.
I know.
That's
I know it shows that no, it's actually navy. But this is
oh,
part of my
okay.
branding colors. So,
You're hiding. Hang on, I've got someone pouring at me because he wants to
oh,
sit.
oh,
He
Midas.
wants to sit on my lap.
Hi, Midas.
He has to
Hey,
be involved.
sweetheart. He does.
All right, are we done? Wonderful. Yeah, so continuing on with our story. So definitely clothing is absolutely a big one. Specific clothes. I've heard women that say they will never ever wear skirts or shorts because they were cold. They had bigger legs at school, and it's kind of conditioned in them that their body isn't suited to shorts, so they just avoid them. He's
Yeah.
talking to me.
Or, as you get older and you get cellulite. So
Yeah.
women, want to hide their cellulite.
I had a
It's
boy at
it's so
school tell
sad.
me that I had really big ears. And so most of my life, I never wore earrings. I avoided that. I didn't want to draw any attention to my
Oh,
ears. And
yeah.
it's only been the last 5 years. I mean, I'm 40 now, nearly 41. And it's only been the last 5 years that I've started wearing big earrings. And yeah, I love wearing earrings. I feel naked without my earrings now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Funny how we deny ourselves for so long because something plays in our mind that someone said so long ago.
Yes. Yeah, I used to get told I've got, you've got big teeth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, me too. I want to big teeth.
Yeah.
It's a good thing though, big teeth, apparently.
Exactly. But yeah, when you're young and you're told something like that and you already have a predisposition to maybe being a bit anxious, it
Yeah.
really can buy into
Can
that.
yeah, it sits in your mind for in a deep, deep space and
Mm,
it plays a lot of parts on choices that we make as
yeah.
life goes on. Um, do you find another one I find body image and avoiding and hiding is canceling events. Like
Mm,
I've had a lot of close friends who you would know as well who struggle with a bit of anxiety
yeah.
and getting that sort of in control. They cancel. It's too
Yes.
much and they're missing out because you know that we were talking about the roller coaster where you're going up that's when all the anxiety is waiting to get on the roller coaster and
Yes.
going up. But once the ride takes off, it's kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get to the top. They jump out.
No.
They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of anxiety around having people over or going to an event. And so
Yeah.
people just don't ever go to events. And
No.
I found in business, like there's business network meetups. You've been to a
Yeah.
few.
Yeah.
But I do know a lot of people who don't do it because it's too anxious because they have to get up and talk about their business in front of people.
Yeah.
And so they're losing an opportunity to promote themselves and grow their business.
Yeah.
They're hiding.
They're hiding. Yeah, they
Interesting.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
And it's
have to be
sad.
seen these days, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
reality.
That's reality of life and business in today's
Obsessing.
world.
I know
Yeah.
it is hard. Another thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if this is something that you've ever noticed, is people editing themselves out of memories. So going through photos from years ago and throwing them in the bin or ripping them cells
Mm.
out because they don't like the way they look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have. I've seen that happen a couple of times where
Mhm.
photos of, they've literally, ripped themselves out of the photos,
I
which
wonder
is really
though, like,
sad.
do you think that's a way to control things, or do you think genuinely people are entitled to, like, if it's a terrible photo and it's
Yeah, well,
everyone's
that's
going
a
to
good
think about it?
question.
Do you want to
Yeah.
be forever remembered as the person with the face that's like, hold, like, no one can see my face, but like doing something really silly with your face? But then I don't
But
know,
I
the
know, but
psychology
it
behind
is, and it so is. And, I've looked at photos and we've all done it. Like in the moment, you think, oh God, that's a disgusting photo. But I've kept it. And then looking back 20 years later, I can't see what I saw 20 years ago. I see a younger version of Nat, I looked happy, or I remember the memory of what I was doing at the time.
yes,
Having anxiety and having a body image, we are so hypercritical of ourselves in the moment that, yeah, are we robbing ourselves of these memories in the future by
yeah.
editing ourselves out of things and
And it's
taking it
so
a step?
easy to do now. Like
It
with
really is.
AI,
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
delete yourself or
Yeah.
delete a
Or
person.
in, yeah, exactly. Or, in your camera, you just delete the photo. I mean,
Yeah. It's the
when I was
same with
growing up,
Photoshop. Like, you
yeah.
know, zooming. My wedding photographer purposely like made people's arms look slimmer
Oh,
and
no.
this was years ago because it was a new thing that had come out. It was like 20 years ago now, and it just didn't look right.
Oh, that's really sad that they did that.
Yeah. And I just thought, that's not how I know these people. I don't want that.
No,
I don't want
exactly.
everyone to have perfect teeth and perfect hair, and it's
Yeah,
not
perfectly
reality.
sculptured faces and,
Yeah.
yeah, thin toned arms. I mean,
Yeah. It's the aging thing too. A lot of people hide because I mean, I hide every day. I just covered all my grays up. But
I was just
there's a
about to say
difference
that.
between
Yes,
hiding and feeling good. It's a fine line, isn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. I guess, again, it comes back
Helps
to
you to come out more. Yeah.
the intention behind it. Are you, I love my hair with, you've got, darker brown hair. I like my hair to look darker. It gives me color in my face,
Yeah, that's it. There's a
that sort of
and then you
thing.
feel better about yourself.
Yes, you're just
Yeah.
enhancing as opposed to hiding. Like I'm in
Yeah.
the older age bracket where, I mean, I finally have embraced my grey hair.
I
I
love
don't have
it.
any
It looks
color in my.
beautiful.
It
Yeah.
does, yes. I thank you. I do love it, but before I did that, like I didn't see my natural color for
Mm.
30 years, 25 years, 30 years, because I was always coloring my hair. I mean, at one point I was a
Yeah.
hair model for a long time, so
You have
but I always
changed
had my hair
again.
colored. So there
Mm.
was anxiety around, when I decided to start growing it out,
Yeah.
what's it going to look like? Is it going to make me look old? And
Mm.
I would grow it out. It was a process over about 7 years. I'd start to grow it out, but then the regrowth. I mean, I was dyeing my hair blonde, so it wasn't that obvious. but
Mm.
it was at a point where I was like, oh gosh, it actually does make me look old. You know,
Yeah,
it's different
my
to when you're
hairdresser said that.
25 and dyeing your hair a beautiful silvery color. It looks cute. But when you get to,
Yeah.
50 and it doesn't look cute anymore, it just makes you look
It
old.
depends on the skin tones because you've got the cooler skin tones as well, whereas
Yeah.
I've got warmer skin tones. So it really depends on who can get away with it. And I
Yes.
find like some people, it suits them. Like it really does.
Yes. Yeah, they look
Embrace it.
stunning.
Yeah.
They look stunning with
Gosh.
their grey hair.
So,
And, we could go even further. I mean, hair, makeup. Are we using it to
Botox.
enhance? Botox, yeah, we could go through a lot of,
There's a lot of things you can do
fillers and
now,
Botox
like
and lip.
cheek implants. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, people are
And
even
chin
getting their butts
implants.
done. Chin
Yeah.
implants. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Reshaping your
And,
eyes.
and my biggest motto is with that is it's your body and you're entitled to do what you want with it.
Of
And then
course.
as well, taking into mind, are you doing it for you to make yourself feel better? Or are you doing it because you're so worried about what other people think? You're trying to control people's thoughts about you. Like,
Yeah.
there has to be a reason behind it. I think some
Yeah.
people can get obsessed with it and they're never truly happy. Like you see people who
No.
get obsessed because it's something deeper that we need to
Yes.
consider. We need to go and speak to someone, I think.
Yeah,
Um, it
absolutely.
it it isn't just stealing confidence, I find body image. I think that it's stealing evidence that we ever existed.
Yeah.
And whether that's augmenting, oh my God, I can't speak, ourselves. It starts with just, cutting and styling our hair and waxing our eyebrows. That's more of a tidy up phase. And then we
Yeah.
move into some more deeper things. Um, but when you think about it, and I know this is something I often think, is kids don't care about what their bodies look like. So when does it start? Like, you know what I mean? Unless you're
Mm.
born with a condition and you're very aware every single day, like that would play on your mind to a certain degree. But
I think it is getting younger though.
yeah,
The body, because of social media, because we live in a world now where you are much more on show,
yeah,
because things
yeah, that's
are,
true.
and we have more access to comparison, to comparing
Mm,
ourselves to other people, as opposed to,
yeah,
pre-social media days when when I was a kid, we
it's
did
magazines. I had
literally, yeah, Dolly
Dolly,
magazine.
Dolly magazine and
But
girlfriend.
they were, yeah, those sorts of things. But they were also really, I mean, they were trashy magazines, but they were also about trying to empower girls, like
Yeah,
girl
that's
power
true.
and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
The images didn't show that because the
they
images were
weren't
still
all.
showing these, glossy, gorgeous, made up models. But
Yeah,
I think today's world is a lot harder, and I think body image kids are becoming more aware of body image at a much younger age, which is really concerning.
it is because that's going to play on them for the rest of their life. And I
Yeah.
often wonder, like, are they picking it up? Because some of these younger kids aren't on social media yet, and
No.
they must be picking up. Like, we think we're hiding flaws, but sometimes we're actually hiding ourselves from the people who love us. And the people who love us are watching us do that. So
Yes.
when you suck your stomach in all the time, you're basically saying my tummy's not good enough. Negative self-talk, avoiding photos and mirrors,
Yeah.
body checking, or maybe you're obsessed with mirrors and you spend a lot of time looking in the mirror at yourself,
Yeah.
um,
And
constantly
yeah,
saying that you look disgusting and
yeah, the
changing your
language is,
outfits over and over again, like I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. It's just
yeah,
constantly going around in your head. Um, I've had people who are afraid to eat in public because they
yeah,
don't like the way they look when they eat.
eat, yeah,
That's insane. I don't
yeah.
care. I mean, I'm a pig. I'll just get it all over my face.
I'm
And
the
this is
same.
great. This is delicious. And I think people appreciate that. I think some people
Yeah.
are
I
funny
think
with
it looks attractive and
it.
healthy with if a woman is sitting there
Eating.
eating with passion, and
Yes.
loving her food, because it also then gives the you get a message that this woman is passionate and excited about life
Yeah.
and is also
Yeah.
comfortable within themselves.
This
They
is
don't
it.
care.
And the kids are watching that. Like if you're a parent, your kids are watching that. They're
Yeah.
not just hearing body image. They're watching what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's important. Gosh, this episode's gone longer than I thought.
I
I
know.
wanted to sort of touch on the sort of wellness trap side, but I think that could be a completely different episode where we can talk about being obsessed with healthy, leading to orthorexia,
Orthorexia, yeah.
controlling disguised as wellness. Like I've had like what Ellen was talking about, how it became her identity to be the
Yeah.
clean eating wellness person. And
Yeah.
gosh, there's just so many things that can
I know.
back to that. But looking at the anxiety compass, anxiety is hijacking the compass when your body becomes the enemy and food becomes dangerous. Mirrors become evidence of, this is not good. And you get obsessed with looking at yourself. Back in tribal days and back when were mirrors first invented and discovered? I mean, humans haven't been looking at their reflection forever. We'd be probably looking at it, the reflection of the pool or a
A
lake or
lake.
something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we can see so finely into our features now, can't we?
Yeah.
It's quite alarming.
Yeah.
Ugh. So your nervous system becomes like a surveillance and constantly in high alert, trying to be the best. And what's that doing? Are we hiding? Or are we trying to be something that's not achievable or takes our whole life to get there? It's
Mm.
that in itself is missing out on life, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Shall we end with a nice sort of reflective question?
Yeah, I
If
think
you're
so.
if you've been listening and you're kind of like, this is me. I need to be in more photos. I've got to stop talking nasty about myself, but I don't know how to do that because I'm not happy with myself. Like there could be so many thoughts going through your head at the moment. Your body's not an ornament. It is an incredible machine and it's constantly talking to you. It's giving us signs and symptoms to tell us, what to focus on. Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, we're not
it
doing that.
is.
We're too busy trying to decorate it and make it look fancy. I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
Rather than
isn't it?
just being comfortable in ourselves, just loving our bodies, loving ourselves for who we are, flaws
Mm.
and all. I mean, you look at what's the Japanese? Is it ikagi? Oh gosh, I should have looked this up before I came on.
I know.
You know the,
Ikigai.
when yeah, ikigai. That's
Yeah.
it. Feeling. When something breaks, like
Mhm.
a cup breaks, and then they put it back together with gold.
Yes,
Being able to look at yourself as being a beautiful, imperfect, because none of us are perfect,
exactly.
imperfect piece of fine china,
Those
porcelain.
quirks are the things that make you unique.
Exactly. And so rather than looking at yourself as being broken or not perfect, filling those places up with gold because we are gold.
We are. And the goal is not missing your life while waiting to feel
No.
worthy enough to live it. Like,
Yeah.
live it now.
Wait.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I
live
feel
it
like I'm
now.
in one of those motivational podcasts. Live it
But it
now.
is, it's so true. Life is so
Now.
short.
It is. And it's
And you
not
don't
promised.
realize it's such a cliched saying, but the older you get, the more you realize, and of course, more life experience you
Wake up.
get.
Yeah,
You know, you just
exactly.
don't
You're
know what's
wise.
around the corner.
You're a wise owl.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
reflective question. If you're
Yes.
driving or doing all the things, because I know you're doing all the things, or thinking about doing all the things, what things? What moments have you missed, avoided, or hidden from because you didn't feel comfortable being seen? You're not
Mm,
good enough yet. I'll
yeah,
do it when I'm good enough.
yeah.
What if that
No,
never comes?
just yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add to this, Nat?
No, I mean I could add 11 billion other things, but no, I think we'll leave it
All
there.
the
It's
things.
it's such an important subject, though.
It is. It truly is. All right. Well, we'll leave you on that note and have a fantastic day and go and do the thing. Just do the thing. Just do it.
Live,
Live your
live.
life. Thanks for joining us on the Anxiety Compass. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend who needs a little laugh and a lot of calm. We'll see you in the next one. Keep following your true north. Disclaimer time. Sammy and Natalie may be clinical nutritionists, but we're not your personal doctors. What you hear is for learning and laughing, not diagnosing or prescribing. If things feel bigger than you, call your doctor or local support line or reach out to a qualified health professional. They've got your back too.